Stephanie White reveals biggest thing holding Catilin Clark back from injury. Return, the Indiana Fever will be shorthanded again on Saturday when they host the Los Angeles Sparks at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. This is after the team ruled Catilin Clark out for a fifth consecutive game due to a lingering groin injury. Indiana head coach Stephanie White spoke to reporters after Friday's practice, and the veteran shot caller provided a significant update on the newly crowned WNBA All-Star Game captain's status. White revealed the one main thing that is holding Clark back from returning from injury. "We went through semi-live shooting drills," White said via Fever reporter Tony East on X. "She still hasn't gone full speed in a practice or a live defensive group, but she's been getting some 3-on-3 work on her own." I think the biggest thing is she's stated she's not a fan of minutes restrictions. If there's going to be a minutes restriction, maybe we'll hold her another game. According to White, Clark herself does not want to be on a minutes restriction when she returns. This only means that the Fever will very likely hold her back until she's back at full strength. White added that at this point, the main concern for Indiana is Clark's long-term health, and that the plan is not to bring her back unless she's 100% healthy. This update does not sound very optimistic in terms of Clark's potential return in the immediate future. After Saturday's game, the Fever will return to action on Wednesday against the Golden State Valkyries, and the reigning Rookie of the Year's status currently remains up in the air for that one. The good news for Indiana is that they have been winning even without their best player on the court. This team is in the midst of a 3-game winning streak, including their Commissioner's Cup championship win against the Minnesota Lynx on Tuesday, and the Fever will be looking to keep their foot on the gas against Los Angeles on Saturday. It was a cloudy morning in Indianapolis, but the tension inside the Indiana Fever practice facility could have cracked glass. The team was preparing for the next matchup, shorthanded yet again. Catilin Clark, the rookie phenom who had set arenas ablaze just months ago, remained sidelined. Not because of a visible cast, not because of a swollen knee or an ice-wrapped ankle, but something else, something deeper. Head coach Stephanie White stood before a sea of reporters, voice calm but later with meaning. "The biggest thing holding Catilin back right now," White began, pausing for the cameras to still, "isn't just the injury, it's her own mind." That wasn't what fans expected. Not when they'd seen the headlines screaming about a groin strain. Not when they'd watched her limp off the court during that Fever Aces clash. But White, ever the straight shooter, wasn't afraid to go where few would. The body heals faster than the heart. Clark had been cleared for light shooting drills. She was in uniform during warm-ups, bouncing a ball with that signature casual confidence. But every time game day rolled around, the verdict remained the same: out. White explained further, with an injury like hers, it's not just about range of motion or MRI results. It's about trust. Trusting your own body to move without fear. And right now, Catilin's still hesitating. That hesitation, White noted, was unfamiliar territory for a player like Clark. Catilin has always played fearlessly. From Iowa to the WNBA, she's never second-guessed herself. But for the first time in her life, she's having to think before she cuts, to test before she explodes. That's not just a physical adjustment, that's emotional. Pressure in the spotlight, the Clark effect, has been undeniable. Sellouts, media frenzy, jersey sales through the roof. Her rookie season was supposed to be an ascension, a coronation of the sport's next megastar. But with all eyes on her, the weight of being the savior of a franchise, maybe even the league, has grown heavier. She feels it, White said. She won't admit it, but she knows what people are expecting. And she doesn't want to come back at 80%. Not for the fans, not for herself. There's an invisible pressure in modern sports, especially for women. Clark is navigating expectations bigger than any rookie should face. Every game misdraws criticism. Every delay is dissected. But White isn't rushing her. "I'd rather have a healthy Catilin Clark in August than a limping one in July," she said. "But more importantly, I want Catilin to want it. A lesson in vulnerability. Privately, teammates have seen a different side of Clark. The fire's still there, but is tempered with doubt. Kelsey Mitchell, a veteran guard and one of Clark's early mentors, noticed it during a recent practice. She pulled up for a 3, nailed it," Mitchell recalled. "Then she stopped, looked at me and said, 'I don't know if I'm faking it or making it.' That hit me." Clark, usually composed and charismatic, is learning the hardest part of being elite: sitting still. She's so used to doing, White added, scoring, leading, creating magic, but healing, especially mentally, that's a different muscle, and it's one she's learning to train. The turning point, White believes. The breakthrough is coming, not with tape or ice or therapy bands, but with one clean, fearless play. One sprint where Clark doesn't flinch. One drive where she doesn't think. Just does. It won't be a doctor that clears her, White said. It'll be Catilin herself. Until then, the Fever are rallying without her. Nalissa Smith has stepped up. Alia Boston is finding her rhythm again. And Angel Rees, she's thriving in the national spotlight, crafting her own storyline while the world awaits Clark's return. But White insists this chapter is necessary. For great players, adversity is the sculptor, she said. And Catilin Clark is in the forge right now,